Holy smokes, it's no jokers. Did the US government just reject XRP? Hey guys, shalom, followers. We have much to discuss. All I want you to do is smile, spread those good vibes, hit that like button, and let's dive in. So right now, XRP is at $2.97, dropped down a little bit from the local high here today, which was $3.02. So we've had a bit of a pullback. Like you can see also Bitcoin and also Ethereum retraced here on the last 4 or 5 hours. Even Solana has retreated. It came on some positive news. First news we discussed this morning that we would be watching to see what the GDP and the jobless claims. So GDP came in better than expected. Jobless claims came in lower than expected. So that's a positive, right? And you see here somebody said, but the Ivy League economist on TV told me a couple months ago, negative GDP was coming, right? When we were watching all the tariff thing, that's what they were saying on TV. And that's not what we're seeing. So that was a bullish thing. Hotter growth leaves the Fed with less incentive to cut rates anytime soon. A headwind of risk assets like crypto in the near term. We'll see. We'll see. Right now, we're still at 85% odds of a cut that we've seen maybe here in September. Jobless claims was fine, right? It was under, but not too wild. It's climbing. So less people are unemployed, which should theoretically be bad for inflation, but it didn't move the needle. So I guess the market was like, this is fine. And then what, so the markets didn't really sell off or rally on this. When it came out, you see, where was it? Here, right? It went a little bit, you see the wick here on the 1 minute, but nothing too crazy. But what was very interesting on the market, and look, I'm here to give you, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly, right? I bring you the news. I give you XRP. I'm not one of these moon boys that's just going to give you, the good and tell you XRP is going to the moon. I give you all.
All right.
And so that's very, very crucial. I'm never going to tell you to buy, to sell, to hold, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you invest. The US government went and put the GDP data on multiple blockchains. And you can see here, this is from the US Department of Commerce. It reads today, the Department of Commerce announced it will start publishing real GDP data on the blockchain, starting with the July 2025 data. GDP grew at a 3.3% annual pace in July, revised figures showed. This is the first time a federal agency has released economic statistical data in the blockchain, and the new way the department is using technology to safeguard federal data for public use. The department released the official hash of GDP release on 2025. And in some cases, the top line GDP figure to the next 9 blockchains, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Tron, Stellar, Avalanche, Arbitron 1, Polygon, POS, and Optimism. The data also further broke down by working with the oracles, Python, Chainlink. The exchanges Coinbase, Gemini, and Kraken helped the department continue to innovate and expand the publishing of future data sets such as GDP to the blockchains, oracles, and exchanges. So what's lacking? No XPAR now. Now Arapi Dumpster P. Well, XPAR bit. It kind of retracted. It was 301 and now it's 297. But the entire crypto market retraced. So you can see Ethereum there was also there. XLM, which was also on that list, retreated. So I don't know if they, the only one that's come up actually was linked, that there was another partnership that was talked about by the government. So that came up, but then that's sold off too. So XRP didn't really tank on this. XRP went up a few days ago when Lednick said they will use blockchain. And it didn't sell off on the XRP absence. And someone was like, XPAP will not include it, right? Picking winners and losers was done for the US government. Joel Katz, any news on no GDP data on XRP? And someone replied here. And again, we have to take this with a grain of salt because they didn't see the XRP ledger is in the news again with US government action, Department of Commerce plan to release economic data. But I didn't see that, did I? So I don't, Terry, he responded that, but I didn't see this in this statement. So again, maybe I'm overlooking it somewhere else. They'll use it. Maybe they'll use it for something else. We'll see. Perhaps there's a reason they didn't use XRPL to publish the data. And it is what it is. But the market is not responding, as you can see. So is this implying they don't like XRPL? What's wrong? They've met with Ripple before. Why did they leave it out? And XLM, yes. And XRP, no, right? So that'll be interesting to see if we hear back from Joel Joel Katz, from David Schwartz. And we'll see. But look, like I said, right? Sometimes we say, people say, oh, good news, bad news. And XRP didn't budge or it didn't budge, right? Well, this is just a sample, Pyth, right? Pyth. So Pyth Network was mentioned there in the statement. Now, it was before it went up 50% from 10 cents to 20 cents. So it was like a 500 billion market cap. If this is 500 million more to Pyth's market cap, then it went up 500 million in market cap, right? For XRP, if a news like this is 500 million on its market cap, it doesn't even move a percent, right? Because A percent would be like 170 million asset, right? No, if I'm bad at that calculation. Yeah, so 1% would be 1.7 billion added to the market cap or removed from the market cap. So you see how much specific news has to be for XRP to move on the news, okay? So you see how a microcap asset on the news went up 50% because it was on that list. I know it's small, you can't see, but Pyth was there with a chain link. That's why it popped so much. And so once again, to people in the comments, we have to keep in mind all this good news, price is not moving. Again, it's got to be news that's going to put tens of billions, hundreds of billions into XRP, okay? So true. And again, we'll see. Why no XRP? Will we get an explanation from the government or from Ripple? Tell me in the comments, what do you think? Is that a bad thing? So does this mean you're out of XRP? Or does this just, okay, next, right? You see here, this was the Chainlink partnership news, and that's why it showed up there. But again, it also sold off with the rest of the market there we saw. So we'll see. We'll see. And I like Alex's quote because it's true. And I say this often. 95% of the time in crypto, Alex will underperform. Bitcoin will outperform them. But 5% of the time for short periods, they'll do 10, 20, 30x gains, and you'll make the lifetime wealth in weeks. This 5% is coming here very soon. That's what he's saying. I mean, I don't know, right? Again, do nothing. Patience, Simba, right? And we just keep getting more USDT printed by Tether. We've seen it before when they mint these massive amounts, the market pumps. So we'll see, maybe this happens, maybe it doesn't. Again, I don't know, of course, not financial advice. Always your own to do this before you invest day to day. I don't know what's going to happen with the market. And of course, as always, remember that I will never message you on social media asking you to sign up to anything or send me money. If you see me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, it's not me. It's a scammer. Report it. If you scroll down in the description and there's not my links, it's not me, okay? And if it's not on YouTube, it's not me, all right? So watch out. You keep coming back for my pretty face and to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly on XRP. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for new videos. You can always leave 8 in the comment section for infinity and beyond. Help the channel with comments, with super thanks, or just hit the like button with a hype. I don't know if you got that on your YouTube yet. Hype it up, right? That's what they said that it's a new feature. So we'll see if you got that too. And links are in the description below. Some of those are affiliate links. And we also have the membership where you can sign up to that as well. And we got the Patreon now with the indicator if you want that as well. Thanks for watching. See you next time. And as I always say, let's get rich